This is a Pink Unicorn podcast, and today I would be interviewing author, writer, fitness trainer L.A. Kendrick on his new and latest book, The Foes of God. How are you today, L.A.?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
All right.
All right, we also have read great reviews about the books, which leads me to ask, what inspired you to do what you do?
Well, everybody says that they come up from humble beginnings, and technically, I really did. So I wanted to be an astronaut at one point. Saw the movie Aliens, changed all of that, and what I've realized is that there's a huge gap in great storytelling in movies versus what it used to be like, and being a child of the '80s and growing up in the '90s, right? We had amazing stories, we had amazing storytelling, cartoons, we had it all. We had the G.I. Joe series, we had Transformers, we had the original Ninja Turtles, we had some pretty amazing stuff, Thundercats, He-Man, and every one of those stories and cartoons seem to have a very, very impactful, lasting effect on me and other guys that I grew up with. So I want to continue that legacy.
Oh, that sounds great. Do you reach the audience that you want?
It depends, because I don't really know exactly what the audience is. I don't know what the genre is. I know what the genre is, right? But I don't know what the audience is, because your reach in this day and time, you touch a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. So I'm not sure what the target audience is, if that's what you mean. I'm not really sure. I've got people in Japan, China, England. Again, as a matter of fact, I was just sent this mugs. These mugs came in from England, matching mugs, Destiny versus Chaos. So this comes from my man Travis Johnstone over in England. I really appreciate you sending this over. So I believe I am reaching some target audience.
Interesting. Well, how hard is it in this industry that you've chosen as far as getting the support needed to reach a level of success?
It can be tough, because sometimes if they see you come through the door, you might not have the right hue. And I know people hate when you say that. You may not have the right hue, you may not have the right vernacular, or you may not have the right look. So you have to go out and make it happen, even when the publishing companies say no, even when you can't get that particular interview that you want to get. You still got to keep pushing, you got to keep fighting, you got to keep striving. You can't let anything stop you in your pursuit to carry on a legacy that you know and that you feel is going to be changing the next generation and storytelling and art forms. So you definitely want to make sure that you don't stop, you don't quit, and you don't give up, no matter who says that you can or can't do something. So,
Well, how much research has gone into your particular writing style?
so I do 2 writing styles, and maybe even 3 if you want to include the comic books. For the adult sci-fi, which is the Destiny versus Chaos series, I do a tremendous amount of research, because I touch on so many different cultures and religious aspects. I really reach a lot of different people all over the planet, right? And then we talk about different things that, may be proceeding throughout the universe, right? And again, this is sci-fi, so, you guys take it easy. But that's what we do. I do a lot of research, hieroglyphics from the Egyptian hieroglyphics, Celtic languages, Hindu, Oriental languages. We do, you name it, we do it. I do it here specifically because I want to make sure that I'm touching and reaching a vast audience where everybody can identify with something in some aspect of their lives.
What kinds of obstacles have you faced when it comes to publication?
I would say it can be it can be weird. Again, you have to once a major company, you can keep submitting your work to them, and I've had a lot of people wanting me to turn over the rights of my work so they can turn it into whatever they want to turn it into. But I would like to keep my work and my characters true to who I am, because I don't have any kids. So my work basically is my kids. I don't want anybody to change them or change the work. I want to make sure that it's authentic and it's me, right? I don't want it to be a watered down version. And this book, The Foes of God, it is the absolute most difficult book that I've ever had to get out. I mean, I've had the launch date slowed up. I've had publication slowed down. I've had, when the print came out, I've seen it where it's their page is blacked out, look like a CIA op. I've had it not be on the major distribution sites like it should be, Kindle, Nook, and all those apps and things of that nature. So I've lost a lot of time in the launch date. I mean, on the launch, getting it out, and hopefully, because I can, providing free T-shirts. Hopefully, I can catch up and increase my sales into what I possibly lost already. But yeah, this publication for this particular book was very difficult. And if you're trying to get into publications with bigger companies, that is always a challenge, always. But never let that stop you. Do self-publishing if you can.
That's great. Also, what other projects have you worked on?
Well, I would say the other two books that I've worked on, or the other series that I've worked on, is the first one was The Benefits of a Bully. And it's basically teaching kids how to deal with bullies. And then I came up with the book number 2, which came out last year. And it's the same thing. But these kids are 11 years old, and they have specific skill sets. And what they do is they go out and they battle. They're like a junior version of the Men in Black. And schools recruit them based on either you have the skill set of high intelligence, physicality, or a combination of the two. And these guys, what they do is they really excel in manners. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. And remember, in the 80s, that's what it was about. It was about good storytelling, respect, family structure. That was paramount. And not to mention, when I did a book signing for, I think it was the book Skyhammer, which is part of the Destiny versus Chaos series. I had kids come up and they wanted something that they could identify with. And at the time, I didn't have anything. And I told them, I assured them, the next time you see me do a book signing or any kind of book reading, I will have something for you guys. And the next time they saw me, I definitely did have the first book, again, which is The Benefits of a Bully. So, yeah.
Great. Do you have anything in the works beyond The Foes of God?
I'm going to continue with the Benefits of a Bully series, but I also have dozens of other stories that I told on my YouTube podcast channel, where I do podcasts. It's called Would You Dare? And that's where I just reach and talk about pretty much everything scientific, cryptid, demonic, ultradimensional, paradimensional. I talk about a lot of different things. So there, I'm going to continue to do that, and I'm going to continue with the Benefits of a Bully. In fact, I just finished and wrapped up the third book in the series installment. And also I'm going to continue doing the horror stories that I've done. And it was called what was it called? It was called the House of Havoc. And I've got dozens of stories again on my YouTube page where you can find, those stories. And I'm going to make sure that I get those copyrighted. Well, they're already copyrighted, but get them published and sold as far as getting that work out, because I want to continue to do the work. Just want to make sure I continue putting out good stories, because I know people are tired of looking at Hollywood with the microwave stories and the warmed up versions, and it seems like Hollywood no longer has any imagination anymore. So I want to make sure that I infuse the entertainment world with new storytelling, original storytelling.
What do you want to be remembered for in regards to your work?
Let me see. Someone that pushed the envelope. Someone who always tried, who never gave up, who inspired others, especially the younger generation, which is who I always talk to very much. And that's why The Benefits of a Bully, it's a 10 and up book. And definitely want to make sure that I'm touching on that as far as giving back and giving great storytelling, because again, we had the best stories in the 80s and the 90s. We had the best cartoons. Everything that we had at that point in time, nothing that I've seen that comes close to that, except for maybe Aang, the Last Airbender. I think that is the closest to what I've seen here recently versus what we had when we were coming up in the 80s and the 90s. I want definitely to have something like that and my legacy to be remembered in that format. I definitely want to do that and just be remembered as somebody who didn't quit, who didn't stop, who always pushed, even when things got, the absolute worst that it could be. I kept pushing and I kept fighting, and you don't stop, even if you don't feel like you're getting any headway. Never stop, never stop. I want to be remembered as someone who didn't stop, who made who made changes and who inspired others.
And what do your fans think of the stories?
I've got fans all over the world, so apparently some of them must think a lot of me to be sending me mugs and other things. Like I've got over there, I've got a Japanese guy sent me a bandana, thanking me for the work that we've done. And what I do, I know the fans really appreciate what I'm doing, because I always have contests where we reach a certain amount of book sales, the last person or the first person or the fifth person, whichever the number of the person is that I decide for the contest, I actually write them in as a character in a book, right? I'll let them know, for my appreciation. I want to always include the fans, let them know that they're part of this thing. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. And again, I always try to make sure that people that I grew up with, that maybe I've even lost, that they're always remembered, so that, it keeps you humble. And that's what I'm pretty sure, I'm positive. I shouldn't be pretty sure or positive. I'm actually positive, and I know that the fans appreciate what I'm doing, because I get a lot of love back. I wish they would engage more when we have these conferences or have those conversational pieces. I really wish that they would engage more and speak more, and leave more comments, so that we can pick each other's brain and see what we can do and what I can do to improve as a writer.
Is there any pressure to produce good work?
Always. There's always a pressure to do good work, as you see with Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee. They want to be the best fighters of their time. They want to be the best fighters of all time. They didn't take any shortcuts. They pushed, they fought. They conditioned themselves. They became mentally tough, spiritually tough, and they were devoted to being better. So there's always pressure to produce good work, good quality work. And because we don't have a lot of quality work out there, I want to make sure that my work doesn't get lost in the shuffle, because like I say, back when I did Destiny vs. Chaos, when this thing first started, it was just a really bad nightmare. I saw my town burning in the dream, the nightmare, and then at the very end of that, I saw a red gem or a red light and a blue light, and then for 7 straight days I wrote. So I took that as a sign to get in here and do something. So that's where this came from, and I've always been trying to push myself to make a better story each and every single time, as the main character does in all of my work. Survival, be a better person than you were, be a better person today than you were yesterday, and be a better person today than you were, be a better person tomorrow than you were today. So that's my goal. And yes, always it's paramount that you make sure that you have the best work out there and you push yourself.
I guess that about wraps it up, LA. Is there anything else that you would like to add? And where can people buy your books?
You guys just keep fighting, man. Keep pushing. When someone tell you that you can't, you know what? Show them that you can. And don't accept a first place ribbon for 8th place work. Make sure you guys keep pushing. You gotta push yourself to become better. That's why inventions happen. That's why they get better. You can find my work, however, on my YouTube page is LA Kendrick with 2 asterisks. And you can also find it at, you can find me at LA Kendrick. Let me look at this real quick. You guys ought to be ashamed of myself. Don't remember all of my own stuff. You can find me on Instagram at LA Kendrick 95. Let me see here. Let me look here. And my Twitter handle is at LA Kendrick 25. Excuse me. And TikTok, you can find me at LA Kendrick 95 as well. So yeah, other than that, that's all I got. You guys just keep staying positive. You guys keep pushing. You keep fighting. And please support the work. You can find my work at Amazon, like I said, Barnes & Noble's, Books A Million, LA Kendrick Books, Kindle, Nook, etc., all the major outlets. And hopefully I'll be doing a book signing here shortly. So yeah, you guys just stay tuned for that. And look for yourself in the book. Maldonado, you're in the book. I put you in the book like I promised, as well as Al Hardy and Scott Hudson. You guys, I really appreciate you guys stepping in there and helping out, but you guys have been written into the story. You've been immortalized. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you, Pink Unicorn, and your podcast for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you. You were great. Thank you.
All right.